Hello everybody and welcome to Joe and Al Play Kerbal Space Program.
I'm Joe.
I'm Al, and today we're going to fulfill a dream of Joe's in Kerbal Space Program.
Taking some steps towards fulfilling a dream of mine.
You want to have a station around the Mun that can get ore and bring it back. Like, so we're going to have a thing that drops down, sort of Apollo lander style, grabs ore, brings it up to the station converts it. We already have a station up in orbit of Kerbin with the converter on it, and this is our attempt to get to the Mun. So here's what we've got. This is sort of our get almost all the way into orbit, sometimes actually all the way into orbit stage. And this over here on the inside is our maybe do a little circularizing, dock with the station, and then land on the Mun and do the mining stage.
What? Right, hang on. Okay. So that's going to pop off?
Yeah, these are gone after, the end.
Yeah.
This part lands, has a bunch of canisters. All right, this is the Terrier engine. Its thrust-to-weight ratio is not nearly enough to get it off of Kerbin, but it is enough to get it off the Mun. We have these thermal control systems, the medium-sized ones, which I did test on Kerbin on the launch pad, with these running for like 20,000 hours or so. So that worked out. We have these Gigantor solar arrays, which will be helped by these rechargeable batteries. We have 8 of these Z1Ks, which seems to be enough. And we have RCS here, in case we want to get in the asteroid mining game, Joe, with a fairly large RCS fuel tank.
Right.
Up here in the middle here, we have our ore. That's sort of the main thing. We've got 4 of these canisters for ore.
What's on the butt?
That is also in case we want to get into the asteroid mining game. It's the grabber.
Those are the miners.
Yep, these are the drills. I was going to use the smaller ones for the sake of, just weight. However, they don't reach down as far, and I was worried they wouldn't actually get enough ore with the landing gear deployed.
Right.
You have questions, Joe?
It's hard when I'm not here for the build.
Okay.
I'm furiously thinking if there's anything missing. It doesn't seem like it.
I have not done any. Like I've tested getting this into orbit, and that's about it.
Right.
So I have not done.
Does the space station have everything we need? We've got a convertitron.
When we're docked, we'll have these tanks hooked up to the space station, so it should transfer okay.
Yeah,
but that's all stuff that we have to test. I don't think we've ever done like a lander that brought fuel to a converter in space. So if it doesn't work, we're about to find out. So just to reiterate, we have basically 3 steps. We have to launch this thing into orbit. We have to with the space station. And then...
Why do these boosters look so weird to me?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I've never seen these types of...
The caps?
I guess. Something.
So I use like a converter thing to go from... And rather than... it actually turned out to be slightly lighter. I use one of these converters that makes the... like, it's supposed to connect one of these size tanks to like a smaller size tank.
Oh.
I use that, and then I put a nose cone on top of it.
Look at all these tips and tricks and stuff.
Yeah,
Mr.
look
Al.
at them.
Well, this is weird.
Okay.
Who are you? What have you done with Albert?
Who is this man? Anyway, you ready to launch this bad boy?
Yes. I'm on Google, by the way.
That's fine.
The engine sounds were updated in 1.4, Albert.
Okay.
The particle engine upgraded to Shuriken.
You would think that this thing would like get off the launch pad faster, but it's actually pretty heavy. And that's empty of ore. I'm not taking ore with us. These are empty ore.
Empty of ore.
Canisters.
Kerbals of level 3 and above have a personal steerable parachute.
That'll be useful.
Oh, it really won't.
It will to me.
I don't understand where anyone would use that. Some new parts. Actually, a lot of new parts. I'm back.
Cool. So we're trying to use as little of these rhinos low in atmosphere as possible. I don't think they're very efficient down there. We do a gravity turn, we pick up speed, we gain height, and we don't use all our fuel up, which I think is good.
Yes.
That's been my experience. Running out of fuel in Kerbal Space Program can be a bad thing.
This is what we've learned. For 78 episodes.
Fuel?
Fuel? Like, look at him dance.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. I'm wasting fuel that way. We are pushing our apoapsis out pretty good, though. You can see it's already above 30,000.
We're into dark
far
blue,
ahead of us in time.
dark atmosphere.
Yeah, we're actually going to throttle down even a little bit more.
Yeah, you got plenty there.
We continue to gain speed as we do a gravity turn.
Still not sure we understand what a gravity turn is, but...
Well, okay. I say we continue to gain speed as we sort of turn to be perpendicular to Kerbin.
Yes.
Does that make sense for you?
Yes. We've been calling this the gravity turn since time out of mind, and...
Since episode 1. I don't know if it's...
No, for us,
right.
That's time out of mind.
Okay. I'm in my mind.
Oh, it's like the birth of Human Echoes. Actually, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. We've been going for like
shut
2
up.
years
Never
at that
mind,
point.
Shut up! I'm gonna jump on me. Al named his file Moon Space Station instead of Mun Space Station. Guys.
Yep, that's accurate.
Get on him for that, noob. This is looking nice.
I think it'll be good. And if we don't completely orbit, like, there's quite a bit of fuel in the tanks of the Terriers that'll push us out in a good amount of time, but not like won't use up all our fuel, but also I've been used to the nuclear engines that just don't like have very much thrust at all.
Yes.
And the Terriers are surprising, like it's a breath of fresh air when you're using them, and you've been used to the other. I'm gonna throttle up my engines just a little bit. Oh, I need to go into prograde. That's what I want. That's why I was turning them on to begin with, Joe.
Oh, you don't have a lot of control here.
That's correct. I don't have a control wheel. All right, we're gonna blast up as fast as we can. This seems like a good spot.
That's the sound they make.
It is. One of the YouTube Kerbal guys that I follow occasionally is named Scott Manley.
Pass your app.
You are so paranoid. And
yeah.
he talks about how that in real life jet engines or rocket engines don't operate at maximum efficiency at all levels.
Isn't that what this is too?
Well, so you can just sort of throttle up as slowly as you want.
Oh, yeah. No.
Whereas real rocket engines don't let you do that.
That's a good point. There's in the amazing book again, Apollo. They discussed that.
So we have to let these guys catch up to us.
At the very least, they discuss how like the fuel has to come in and hit these incredibly finely engineered little pieces of metal in order to splash into perfect like arcs that will ignite correctly and boost correctly, and like I imagine you can't slowly get to that. You have to
trying to get my space station to catch up to the satellite.
This is What's the bulbous thing? Do I need to look at that?
That's just a Ike rescue probe. No.
Ike rescue probe?
Uh-huh.
The hell's an Ike rescue probe?
It's a probe to rescue people from Ike.
That?
Probably a piece of something. I don't know.
I wish you would clean up your stupid space station.
You just want me to kill... You complain about me killing people off.
Is someone in that?
Probably.
What are they doing in it?
I don't know.
What?
Let's
Also,
find out.
Clean up doesn't necessarily mean murder. We're not the mafia. You could bring him home or something. Look, yes, this thing. Perfect.
Yeah, this is our Ike rescue probe. Or something. I don't know.
Glad this is here. It doesn't even have an engine. It's just a decoupler.
All right, we're going to adjust our orbit a little bit so we get a better intersect.
I'll be honest. Orbiting Kerbin, I don't think you need to go back to the space station.
You mean the tracking center?
Same thing. The space station is the
The
tracking
space station is where we're trying to get. It's not. This is non-trivial.
Space Center. Yes, right. Correct.
The tracking station.
Why don't you say what you're doing?
I'm waiting for this to catch up to this, and then we'll have an intersect.
You need it. You need a.
I need these guys to be closer than on opposite ends of the
but
planet.
if you bring the periapsis of your current ship in a bit, you'll at least see it intersect.
I don't need to see an intersect yet to know that we're way too far apart.
It'll also
do
speed
anything.
up the closing of the gap. This is fine. You're just on opposite ends of the planet, Al. Now, Doc.
You want me to bring my periapsis in so we'll get closer together?
Yeah, you got some periapsis height. Yes.
No, I pushed it out so that the space station would be inside my orbit and catch me up.
Yeah, but the entire thing is in. All right.
If anything, I need to push it out more.
Then you don't intersect.
Joe,
For me,
I'm not
planning-
waiting to
for me-
intersect yet. I'm trying to get our...
When I plan these, I just make the orbits intersect, push out the app, and then orbit a few times until the intersects come together. Having a visual intersection marker is helpful for me.
We're going to do this Joe's way. Joe can't handle our way. It's... Uh-oh.
What'd you do?
I just realized I may not have power.
Well, you got your heaters out, so that's good.
Well, I've just turned on...
There it is. You also have your...
Yeah, they
We're
trigger
on
at the
the
same
dark
time.
side.
We should be okay. Hopefully we will be anyway. All right, we're going to... I guess I could have... Yeah, we can just burn retrograde. Bring that in a little bit so you have an intersect, Joe.
Yeah, madness.
Okay.
Was that hard?
What? No, it wasn't. What I was doing wasn't that hard. You just don't like it because it's not how you do it.
But our viewers don't know what all these weird... I don't know what all these weird specs are. We're just watching things flip around. Now we have intersects. It's like, oh, okay. You probably need to warp a bit so that the space station can catch up to the orbiter. No, that's fine. You don't have to...
I don't have to. You're going to pester me to do what you want, and then you're like, well, you don't have to do that. It's fine.
You were catching up. Again, just having the visual is nice. Or it was catching up. I can never actually figure that out in my head. You were getting closer.
The space station is catching up to us because it's inside. You go faster on the inside curve, Joe. Everybody who's ever driven knows that, I think.
Push it out, push it out, push it way out.
Our fuel is okay.
SUCCESS, that's the way you spell success.
Is it?
That's how the cheer goes.
Oh, okay. Let's see. If
NASA
I burn...
would perform better if they had cheerleaders.
I don't know. Maybe. It is a bunch of dudes out there.
Yeah. That's how you can get more women into STEM. We've solved it. I'll just bring in... Woo! That's probably not...
That's literally how we get
Yes.
them in. We hire them as cheerleaders.
Yes, that would
Joe, the
really
progressive.
make people happy. Yes. It's just so the opposite. Has anyone suggested that comedically? Because that's perfect. Oh, of course, we got them in the space station as cheerleaders. And waitresses.
Yeah. No, I don't think anyone has, Joe, actually. So we're going to warp till we're kind of close there, and then we'll start killing speed relative to target.
They never do this in Star Wars.
They don't. You know what, Joe? In Star Wars, they're not really in space. I think it's important to remember that. Just don't even think about like space or anything with Star Wars because it's not
like the final the final thing in the original Star Wars where the Death Star is circling. They're trying to get to the moon,
right?
I'm just wondering if we would have done anything differently. Probably would have warped.
Yeah, they do have an orbit, but they never talk about like how is the Death Star thrusting at any point. Like what kind of fuel does it use? It doesn't have engines. Like at least in the X-wings and stuff, we see like fuel some kind of thing being pushed out.
And like well, the thing is, that much when it fires its laser, that much energy pushing in one direction that's its engine. This ship feels squirrely.
That's because it was designed by the unbeatable Squirrel Girl. All right, we're just gonna thrust pro target.
Are you secretly the unbeatable Squirrel Girl?
Yes.
Because that would be weird. I'm not gonna lie. Of all the reveals, the Rebel Moon is in view range.
That's no moon. That's Squirrel Girl. What?
I was just watching. It's different than what I do.
Yeah, you don't have to record either. You don't have to think about like somebody watching this on YouTube and waiting for things to happen.
We have edits.
Stop! Joe and Al had reached the space station. They thought their journey was almost over, but they were about to step into a world that made no sense. A world where up was down and left was right. A world we like to call the docking zone. I don't have the aim camera option anymore. Was that a mod? I used to be able to right click on things and hit aim camera. I also don't have autostrut, which I thought maybe was a mod because I lost it. And I was like, well, I guess I did something weird. I also don't know which direction is up.
Are you targeting the dock?
How would I do that without that option on the key?
Oh God, what had happened to all your options?
I don't know!
This is weird.
I don't even know which buttons do what anymore. Ah! Did you see that? It skipped me off.
What is going on?
It also lost target. Here's the other thing. It's like, oh yeah, well, we bounced against it, so you don't need that as target anymore, right? I want to go down. Why is M right next to everything that I want? I can see them. They just won't get together. Ah! After nearly an hour of frustration, Albert finally sent the save files to Joe in the hopes that his expert hands might navigate them out of this madness.
Oh my God.
Woo! Yes! Alright, save! Alright, now I just have to get this baby to the moon!
I'm going to be rereading docking tutorials after this. Change your camera mode to Chase V. This ensures that the camera position matches the RCS thrusters that we'll use. Don't even try without it. I don't think we ever tried. We tried without it, sir. And succeeded eventually after crashing the ship 3 times.
Yeah, and wasting several hours of our
lives,
yeah.
Wasting, Albert? Really wasting? Aren't the fond memories we've made the real space station?
The real
Okay, here's a question. Can we make fuel right now?
That's a great question. So we've got our There's no ore in these tanks. You're very confident that there was, but there's not.
I could have sworn you said you brought up ore. Okay.
No, that was last week's adventure, remember?
Isn't this last week's?
No. Here
What
we
is
go.
happening? Look at all the engines wiggle.
Oh, no!
Is
not
that
the right
gonna
one.
hold?
We want this one activated. This one shut down. Okay.
Oh, so much more fun when I'm not in control.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Phew. Yowza, this thing is not built for moving.
No, it's weird.
So it's hard to move this thing into the orbit.
What is happening? I just came back and saw this. This is one argument I have for despite costs for building this at the Mun.
Yeah, well,
Screw
you're not fun.
costs. How's it going?
It's okay. Let's look and see how we're doing. We pushed our app out to 123. We've got to get it out to, there.
Our struts on? Can we auto strut somehow?
No, I cannot, Joe.
Oh my god, it's still
Remember?
happening? I hoped maybe shutting down would fix that.
No, it had not. I've restarted my computer since then. None of it works.
This is madness. You there yet? All right, almost there.
This is what I wanted to get to. This stuff is great. Look at this.
You don't think the tension of what we were doing just
No,
then carries
not
over?
after the first hour and a half. I don't. The tension of maybe we're gonna run out of fuel before we get to the Mun is pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think we're making it. I could have sworn some of these things had ore in them. Well, maybe we should send a ship up to dock with this thing with ore in it.
Or fuel. Just a
whatever.
giant fuel-laden thing. Our apoapsis is going out.
Well, yeah, that's gonna happen. It's just whether then we have to circularize around the Mun.
Well, yeah. I guess.
Or not.
I'm not. You have no idea how bad I want to fast forward, but I'm not going to do it because I know for a fact it's a bad idea in this situation.
That will release the Kraken.
The Kraken is already here, just hugging our spaceship. But yeah. I say we thrust until we run out of fuel. And then we can...
All right! And then what?
And then we come up here and bring more to it.
Do we have another docking port?
Yeah, we have another docking port. It's right here.
Yeah, that's right. I remember now.
We're almost there.
Look at that! We've almost gotten out to that satellite.
Listen, does that satellite look as wonky and wonderful as this? No, it
I
does
didn't
not.
realize you wanted to build Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I knew that was the goal. What's happening?
Where
are we going?
We're flipping. It's
Why?
horribly off balance. That's the other thing we need to do is bring up some weight for the other side of this thing. Why don't we have auto strutting? Why does any of the right clicks work? Why is everything awful? We're gonna run out of monopropellant.
So, here's what I'm thinking. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that this is a space station prototype.
Okay.
Maybe with what we've learned, maybe we can build a better space station.
Flipping around.
Maybe. Now, I'm just throwing that out there.
There's not enough gimbal on this thing to get us going straight.
It's possible. We're about to run out of You know what we have lots of?
Energy?
Electric charge.
Electric
Yes,
charge,
we have
yeah.
Plenty of electric charge. Some of these batteries appear to be redundant.
Yep. I thought that the fuel could be transferred through.
What do you mean?
I thought that, like, you could have fuel, the fuel just sort of, like all the monopropellant tanks are all draining at the same rate.
Yeah. Is all the fuel tanks not?
No, they're not. This guy's I'm sorry. This guy's still relatively full.
Well, I think the size versus I think percentage-wise, they might still be... No?
I don't
We'll see if he's draining while you're firing.
It's not. This one has, though.
I don't know what's going on. That is a fair amount of fuel we still have left in there. And it should... You're absolutely right. It should transfer. We can't steer the ship.
We cannot.
Yes! Warp! Let's see it warp! Come on, I want to see it.
Oh, sorry. So it looks like it
Still
warped.
one
It's not
piece.
doing anything, though, so I was just giving it a chance to...
Oh my god!
Just wag on around!
I can't believe it held on through that.
This is the kind of failure I want to have, Joe! Why can't they all be like this?
I'm glad to hear that you're happy again with failure, because, what? You just need it to look silly? Is that the deal?
Yes! I'm fine not being great at the game. I get that that's gonna happen. As long as people are laughing. I'm like Roger Rabbit. I can only fail if it's funny. The fact that it like has held together through all this is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I thought those would snap. I mean, you had it almost at a right angle at one point. Also, your game is messed up.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Things.
We're gonna definitely uninstall and reinstall. But this is it. That's our man. That's gonna edit down to about 15 minutes.
Space Station 1.
Space Station 1. We definitely never meant for this to go to the moon.
No.
Hey, we could flip this around and push with this engine for a while if it's
Yeah.
tiny amount of fuel.
We could push with the other. We could push with all the engines.
Thank you
Of
for
the wind.
watching, everybody. If you like what you see and you want more of it, you can go to patreon.com/humanechoes. Become a patron there, and for as little as $2 a month, you get access to these a week early. Actually 6 days early. You'll get to see these failures before the general public.
You also get merch, postcards, pins at certain levels. It's a lot of fun. We
Yes.
love you more
There are
if you
other
give us money.
programs too. Sometimes, like when we do a GTA, like if you fail, people are shooting at you. You're not just like running out of gas in your spaceship. Bye, guys.
Goodbye.